everybody. Sinéad here, founder of Conscious Connections, Conscious Singles Ireland. I'm going to be joined this evening by my colleague, David Patrick Farrell. We're coming live to have a chat about this new workshop that we're delivering. We've delivered it once already, and we are also delivering it in Wicklow in about 10 days' time. So I see David Patrick has just jumped on. Let me everybody who is joining us live. I'm just waiting for David Patrick to jump on. I have invited you, DP, if you see that. So hopefully the Instagram gods are in our favors, working in our favor, and we're going to get to go live together. Okay, I'm going to try again. No, okay, invited. So can you see an invitation there, David Patrick? This is, it's always 50-50 with Instagram. Okay, send a request, brilliant, let's see. Now, hello Karen, hello Orla, Leanne, I'm looking at the people who are there with us. Okay, I think I might have to restart in a minute if this isn't working, because I'm accepting here to have David Patrick join, but unfortunately he is not appearing on my screen, the joys of Instagram. So let me see, yeah, another minute now. Thank you all for your patience. We're going to just maybe end this and try again now here. Not working. Yes, we're on. Woo! Yeah. Instagram. Yes. Hello. The Instagram gods are working in our favor.
Thank you.
Yeah. Great.
Good to see you, Sinéad.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm back on the live.
I know, yeah. Feels like we've landed. Yeah. So thank you everybody who's joining us. We'd love to know if you've been to our events, if you've been at the old version of what we were doing on our Conscious Singles Day, and we're here to talk to you about the new one.
Yeah, it's exciting. It really is. You know, we delivered a beautiful gathering in Belfast, and it was received really well. And it's really special what you've designed, you know, and it's celebrating you and honouring you, transitioning into a new space and creating this new way of gathering in this way for people to come together and consciously relate. So yeah, celebrating you in that space.
Thank you. I know when I tap into the magic of it, it reminds me why I'm doing this and how much I love it. Yes, going to my next one next week. Looking forward to meeting everyone. Amazing. So yeah, this is what we're going to talk about. Is what we're doing. What I've been working away at here in the background, I suppose.
Yeah, and I've been working really hard, and the way you designed it, you know, and it's amazing how you transitioned, how you created it, and basically the evolution of Conscious Connections, Conscious Singles in that way. It's like, yeah, so really celebrating that you're not stagnant or dogmatic in your skills, tools, practices, medicine bag, and you really just went, you know what, I'm going to reshape this, rejig this, reword this, and recreate this, and deliver it for the people. So yeah, celebrating that again.
Yeah.
And why did you change it, Sinéad? What was the reasoning behind it?
So there's a bunch of reasons, but I suppose the main one was that I feel that the workshop we're delivering now is providing skills and a perspective that's needed for people who are dating and single now. So like everything we were doing at the full day event that we've, both worked, I loved that day. That day was magic. So many beautiful things were happening. It was packed. It was amazing. And those skills and reflections are really ones that would like resonate out into life. So yes, for dating, but also out into all our relationships. And I just feel that this workshop is like more directly serving people who are single and trying to navigate the current dating climate, not only at our events, but navigating dating out there in the world in 2024 is really challenging. And I wanted to deliver something that really spoke to that and supported that journey, because I'm immersed in this work and I've been dating in this way now for a few years, and it's like it's an evolution, and I kind of have a privilege because I'm leading the spaces that I do, that I'm constantly researching and I'm constantly keeping up to date, and I'm just learning all the time about healthy, conscious relating, and then the way of dating intentionally. So I just felt that this would bring the most benefit to people who are single and dating and looking to meet somebody, which are the people who are coming to our events.
Yeah, and we had a gift of being able to sit in the participant space in Belfast as I was jumping in and out, and the practices that were delivered were exceptional. And I seen everyone drop in. I seen the reflections and the feedback on the day, and I heard it, and it was like, how it's landing. So it's really just it's incredible. And
We're
what would you say to the
going to
people?
swap now next time. You're going to lead and I'm going to jump in because I'm dying to participate in it.
And you'll get that space. And what would you say to people that have been to kind of the original workshop and then this workshop? What would be the you vocalized there that's specifically designed for people that are trying to navigate the dating scene, dating world outside of these spaces? But there's actually so much more to it. I see, there's that piece, but there's so much more. The practical skills and tools to take away. Like, I'll let you speak on it, but what would you say? What would be your takeaway, or what would you say to the people that haven't been, and what people that have been already?
So to the people that have been already, I just say, like, this is the opportunity, and this is one of the reasons, like I said to you, there's many reasons why I decided to create a new workshop. One of the reasons was, we'd done a couple of tours of the country with the old one. We'd served hundreds of people with it. And it's just really nice to have a space where people can come back, because, that's the two things. And at our singles events, it's like, come, practice some personal development, learn some new skills, and then the edge. Like, everybody's single. So maybe you're going to meet somebody, and the people are getting tons of dates, and there are some relationships that have come out of the events. But the focus is really like, what can you learn and do the workshop? So by creating something new, it also gives people the opportunity who've been to come back and experience something totally different that, like I said, is more directionally focused on people who are dating right now. And it's a journey, so I've broken the afternoon, as you know, down into 3 pieces, and it's still, we're flying through it, but it's, the first part of dating intentionally is knowing yourself. So we're looking at that, like things like attachment styles, and how growing up in the family that we did has affected how we relate now, how just knowing ourselves deeply. And this is the part of conscious relating work, isn't it? It's like knowing ourselves, our patterns, our triggers, what's happening on the inside for us. We can't come into connection. Well, we can come into connection, but how we can support deep, nourishing, healthy connections is by doing the work on ourselves first, outside of relationships. So looking at the first section is looking within, knowing ourselves, and then we move on. So there's a little bit of, discussion that's happening with that. And then we're doing some, paired conversation practices, communication practice, and that's moving. So everybody's meeting everybody. And it's like dropping in then as well. There's none of these questions of like, oh, the weather's really nice, where did you travel from? Like, everybody does that in the first half an hour with teas and coffees, right? It's a small talk. It's how we make ourselves comfortable. That's fine. But we're looking to meet at a depth. So when you're sitting in front of somebody who's asking you, with this whole like drop in and presence, what your attachment style is, it's totally different, right? And it's just an opportunity to show up really authentically, which is part of this intentional dating. It's like, let's just be ourselves. If somebody doesn't like our answer, that says everything about them, and like all we can do is just show up radically authentic, and we're creating a space for people to drop in and meet, and that kind of more honest space, letting go of the mask. Let's meet each other like soul to soul here. Not asking much, I'm going to scare people away from coming to the events by talking about how I do. What's your intention?
No.
To get people to meet on a really deep level.
Yeah, but if everyone's really honest with themselves, that's what everyone really wants, to be in that deep level. But the skills and tools you bring in, and the piece at the start, the connection piece, not that I'm surprised, but the level, the depth and the potency delivered in the gathering, from my understanding, my looking at it, it's phenomenal, see people dropping the armor, dropping into that space, and it's incredible to see where it goes so quickly and when held
Yeah.
in such a great way.
Yeah, thank you. And I see that too. And that's the feedback that we get, right? At the end of the day, everyone is like, I enjoyed this so much. This has been amazing. I've learned so much about myself. I'm rethinking how I'm dating now. Like I have people who contact me now who were at events 6 months ago who talk about hearing the concepts of what the stuff that we're talking about maybe for the first time then, or understanding it at a new level, and then putting that into practice in their lives, like dating and also in their relating. Um, so yeah, I'll finish off just saying about the kind of structure, I suppose, for anybody who's hanging in there to see. So first part, looking at ourselves, looking within, knowing ourselves. The second part is looking outward, calling love in. So what are we actually looking for? Getting really clear on all of that. And then the third part is navigating connection.
Mm.
And I actually think navigating connection, wow, it's really challenging, you know, in the current dating climate. And there's just so many little things we can do that can support us in, you know, navigating connection. And the pieces of that are like being really clear already also about knowing ourselves, observing ourselves, because those people we meet are just mirrors, right? And they give us the opportunity to heal parts of us that are looking to be healed. And we come to a conscious relationship and like, oh yeah, I've done so much work on myself, right? This is going to be great. And then it's like, there's a fucking mirror and it's like, fuck, all this stuff that I thought I'd worked through already now is boiling up again. And yeah, it can be really challenging. And I feel that people really want love and simultaneously they're pushing love away. They really want love and simultaneously they're closing themselves off. You know, so it's how can we stay really present to wanting love and then opening up into something that's really nourishing and healthy. And yeah, it's how to know what's really nourishing and healthy. Like, what does that feel like? It's not what somebody looks like or the status that they carry. It's like, how do I feel with them? How do they show up for me? Are they consistent? Are they kind? Is there a future here that, you know, it's going to work for both of us?
No, I appreciate that. It's Yeah, it's important. It's this work, as I believe, is a such a necessity, and it's such a space that needs to be created. So, yeah, just keep celebrating you. Well done for doing it. I'm going to ask you a question about this. You know, and for I know, and you know, but for people that maybe don't know, you know, if I was to come in as a brand new newcomer, or just looking at this right now, you know, what is intentional dating? You know, what does that actually mean when people say that?
Mm, yeah, it's all of those parts that we just covered. So it's knowing ourselves, knowing what we want, knowing, you know, what our patterns and our pain are. And it's also, yeah, not, um, you know, cutting ourselves short and also, you know, being reasonable to allow humanness into dating. We're not looking for the perfect person. That's, you know, not possible. But, you know, is somebody showing up for me in a way that means I want to keep doing this? You know, it's staying regulated through the dating experience, because I think it can be so dysregulating. You know, there's a lot happening there and you're texting and then somebody disappears and people are ghosting each other all the time, and like it can just be really disheartening. So a lot of people who are coming to the events are using apps and finding it really challenging. I'm not getting matches. I'm getting matches, but nobody ever asks me out. You know, people are ghosting all the time. You think you get on well with somebody and it turns out what they're looking for, which might be something casual, is not in line with what you're looking for. It's having kind of like a scope awareness of all of that and navigating dating in a way that feels nourishing, that feels like we're in service to ourselves. That's how what I would say intentional dating is for me. I'm not reaching out there looking for something. Of course, I have lonely moments just like everybody else, you know, and then, but I catch that now and I pull that in. I'm like, this is not the moment to be going on a dating app.
Mm.
This is the moment to tend to myself. And then the intentional dating part, when I do feel like nourished and full and I'm in a space to look for connections in real life or on a dating app, I'm coming at that from a place of like fullness within myself. And then I can see, okay, I'm feeling a little bit anxious here. Instead of playing a cat and mouse game, you know, in intentional dating, we're just being really clear. Like, hey, this is, you know, where I'm at. This is pretty much what I'm looking for. And, are you actually interested in pursuing this connection or not? So we're trying to remove the disposable dating kind of culture that there is and just get really fucking real with ourselves and with people we're, potentially dating.
Beautiful, beautiful. You summed it up beautifully. And what really you highlighted there for me was three things: the humanness, inviting back in the humanness, the disconnection with the social media or the apps, the digital part, bringing back the humanness is really important. Being in human connection, be it romantic, be it in the physical space, really important, And then also what you said about the regulation. Yes, the nervous system can be totally dysregulated. So I was like, that really stood out for me about knowing thyself, knowing my nervous system regulation, knowing needing to soothe and nourish myself in that space. And then also what you said there about nourishing oneself before going outward. So there are three big points for me that I really, not so much the same, but we, highlight them three parts, because I think we lose the part of the humanness when we're doing this. We're swiping, it's like just another thing, another picture, another image. Where's the human behind that? Where's the connection? That's what this space is dropping into this space in the physical realm is. Yeah, it's epic. It really is epic, and the nervous system regulation. I'm a big fan of that, and then knowing yourself in that space, like because you can get frantic and lost, and why am I being ghosted? Why? When I think when we set the tone for, I'll speak on my intentional dating. When we're speaking, when we set a bar and a tone for ourselves to intentionally date and bring that practice of ourselves, it offers not only ourselves that reality how to navigate, but it offers the person we're potentially dealing with or exploring a relationship with, offering them the skills, tools, and techniques to intentionally date also. So walking the way you want to walk, talking the way you want to talk, walking the way you want to see someone walk, and talking the way you want to see someone talk. You're giving them exposure to these skills, tools, and technologies and practical pieces you take away. So yeah, intentional dating is it's a beautiful concept, but when we actually put it in play, it gives people the opportunity to see that it's actually a reality.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is, it's the antidote to like this toxic dating culture that is, and I'm going to take back that word, and I'm going to use challenging, the challenging dating culture. So it's the antidote to the current challenging dating culture, that is out there, So I had something else to say, but it's gone now. Yeah.
Yeah, like is conscious, and there's two differences between conscious relating and intentional dating. Like, is there similar differences? Would you say?
Okay, so what I was going to say came back to me now. It's
Yep.
like when we are doing this work, and then I'll answer your question because it's tied in, it triggered the memory for me. When we're doing this work, like conscious relating, intentional dating, this is just like showing up in this way and using dating and relating as a practice, right? As a practice for self-reflection and personal growth. So when we're doing this conscious relating stuff, which includes intentional dating, it gives people permission to do the same. So not only do they learn from us, but it gives them permission and they see the value. So the more people that even I date in this way, like when I meet people and I start dating, I'm usually kind of shy to tell them what I do for a living. If I meet them in real life and they don't know about my work, or if I meet somebody on an app and they don't know about my work, I usually kind of like pop it off for a little while and I'll tell them like a little bit later. Because I'm kind of just gauging the whole situation, right? And but when I turn up and I'm really like radically honest, people really appreciate that, and when I make the effort to be like, hey, so I'm actually just gonna end this chat now and I didn't want to ghost you, so I was just letting you know. Whatever, something along those lines. I don't need to even give a reason, but people really appreciate that. Thanks for letting me know. Nice for the chat, or it was a nice chat. So, yeah, it's just inspiring people by how we turn up. And that's what we're, when we're trying to be conscious, healing, decent humans and, like work on ourselves all the time. That's kind of how we're making the change in the world by changing ourselves, and then inspiring others, that ripple effect. Take a breath. I get so excited when I talk about all this
Yeah,
stuff.
you're obviously clearly passionate and well versed, and it's beautiful to hear you recite and speak. So,
Thank you. So, yeah, the difference between intentional dating and conscious relating. I mean, the differences are really in that intentional dating is navigating the current dating culture in this way that I've just explained, that's nourishing. And then conscious relating is like a way of relating with everybody in our lives. So it's our family, the hardest ones. It's our partners, it's also our colleagues and our friends. And so when we're consciously relating, we're bringing that as a practice into our lives, into all our relationships. But everything in intentional dating is part of conscious relating. It's just that it's conscious relating for people who are dating. Like specifically, and then that filters out. Then, you start to just turn up like radically in this way with your colleagues and your friends and your family and inspire them then to do the same.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I appreciate your reframe taking the word toxic out because that can be thrown around so much, and it just creates this barrier and blockade towards what it is, and it has this uh, strange taste in the mouth when you say toxic.
Yes.
But when you say
Yeah.
like challenging, I look at it also as because people always say toxic masculinity, but it's just misguided masculinity, and it's misguided dating. If you've never been shown how to consciously date or intentionally date or consciously relate, your framework has just been misguided by bravado, by peers, by whatever it may be in your society and conditioning. And then obviously, as you said, they're being the permission giver too. And there's actually a different way of doing it. There's a different way of speaking, talking, acting, interacting, navigating, and in the world day to day with conscious relating. And what you're saying there really landed me. Is like conscious relating is the bedrock and it's the foundation. And then when that's solid, maybe then you can explore intentional dating. Because if this isn't solid here, you're conscious relating, there's no space then for the intentional dating because you're just skipping steps ahead where it's not going to be built on a bedrock and a foundation. Learn how to speak, interact, and navigate daily with people, family, as you're saying, and then create space to be the permission giver and the way shower and the bridge to show us a different way. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying and hearing.
totally. And like, absolutely, I totally agree with you. And like, it's a practice. Somebody messaged me. We had an event a couple of weeks ago. They sent me a bit of a shitty message. It was the night before. I'd had a really tough couple of days in my own personal life, and I had an event the next day that I was like, rushing to get ready for. And I just like responded to that message in the moment. And I was like, the next day, I was like, that was not conscious relating, Sinead. That was a reaction. And it was fine. Like my message was perfectly civil. It was 2 lines. It was to the point, but I just thought, yeah, that's it. That's the reaction instead of reflection, which is such a big part of conscious relating. It's like reflecting instead of reacting. But part of that is, and the reason I'm sharing this story and kind of like, disclosing myself is that it's a practice. It's a practice every day. And it's in those moments when I just had, a couple of really challenging days with loads going on and I was beyond capacity. And then, these things are little tests. And it's like, how do we react to that then? It's like, am I like bitching about the guy who sent me a shitty message? Or am I just like, okay, I could have handled that better if I had just slept on it, because actually the real problem was, the lack of capacity. And it's that whole reflective piece that just is conscious relating. And the point is that it's always, and I'm reading a comment there.
Same.
It's, no, yeah, nice. You can see it too. Good. I've lost my train of thought now. It's practice. That's it. Basically, it's a practice. Intentional dating is a practice. Conscious relating is a practice. People come to our events, they've never heard of this stuff before, and they're just going to take 1 or 2 pieces home and begin to integrate that into their lives, and that's beautiful. Or sometimes people come and they know a little bit about this work already, and then they still learn something new and they make nice connections and have an amazing day. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had a piece there I was going to say, I can't remember now. It'll come back to me. Come back to me.
Yeah. So I am going to drop in that, this is the half-day workshop that we're doing in Wicklow. We're also in Belfast at the end of November, but I do have a new idea. I'm going to run past you now here live on air.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen. So Belfast, like we have had so much interest from people in Belfast. We were up there in the summer. We did a festival. We were at Happy Fest, and then we ran the half-day event, this workshop for the first time. And it was full, and we've had loads of people who said they want to come back, and then we've had a ton of interest. There's a load of people on the waiting list already, and we haven't even started ticket sales. I was thinking for this event that I'm going to open up tickets for women who bring a male friend. So that's how I'm going to first try to fill the event, so that every woman who wants to come thinks about one male friend that they can bring, that they're, you know, not dating or in a romantic relationship with, so that a single male friend, so he can come and connect with the other women. And I think this is just going to be a really beautiful experiment.
It's a fantastic idea, you know. There's a lot of women are like, so I have a good friend for, you know, this, so bring them. Yeah, it's a great idea. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, it's well open. I'll speak for all of us, all the men. We need to push, you know, and the way the bookings work, you know, we just put out an event for women. It's already booked, and the booking up is 4 weeks in advance. You know, with the men is like they booked. Literally, we had men on our events walking off the street.
Yeah.
They are not booking. So men need that push, they need that little extra little piece. So women are watching this. Please bring your friends to the next event.
Exactly.
If they're single, bring them. You know,
yeah.
They need that push. They need that guidance. And if you want to support your friends in connecting romantically, intensely dating, or conscious relating, bring them along to experience it. You know.
Exactly, and it's just like looking for support for the whole thing, I think, as well, because as you know, my nervous system in the background before every event, I'm like, oh my God, is there going to be enough men? And then there's like booking last minute, people are booking on the day, you know, like, oh my God, here we go again. And every time there's always even numbers. But I just thought, okay, there's so many people on the waiting list that I'm just going to try this now for this one event.
It's a fantastic idea, you know. It came at the right time. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Exactly. So yeah, that, and then this whole workshop, I'm going to run it online. So I'm going to do an 8-week online container, which was where the idea for this originally came, because I've been sitting on this workshop for like ages, you know, a year or more maybe. And it just, it took the push to say, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make it into a half-day event, like what we have done, to bring it forward in that way. But I just feel that each of these topics that we've touched on tonight, like there's just so much depth you can go to with all of them. And like I had said in the beginning, like it's broken down into the 3 parts of knowing ourselves, then looking outwards, calling love in, and then navigating connection. And all of those are just a massive topic in and of themselves. So I really want to take the time for the people who want that like ongoing support of a guiding container and a community over a 2-month period. So it's for people who are maybe having challenges dating at the moment. You know, they're finding it hard to meet people, to navigate dating online. They might keep having like repetitive relationships that are the same patterns repeating, or, you know, they're struggling with dating and are called by, you know, what we're promoting here in the intentional dating, that then they can come on this like 8-week journey where they're guided through each of these steps and have the support then and much more space to like dive into all the topics. That's what I'm really looking forward to, is the spaciousness of it. On the half-day events, we're really, you know, dropping a stone in the ocean, but you know, each little part that we go through on the day, I think, could be a workshop in itself. You know,
100%.
like we're asking, like 24 self-reflection questions or something. Like one of those questions could be a workshop in itself, almost, or at least each section of, you know, those 3 sections. So,
100%. I'm looking forward to our next event. You know, 27th of October. Yeah. It's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be great. Yeah, me too. And I love that venue. It's super nice. And yeah, it just, you know, straight away as soon as I put that out, people were booking like the first day already. So I already knew, like, basically I put the event online and I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a great event. I mean, they're always great events. Yeah. There's never been an event yet that has not been a great event. But this one, I'm really looking forward to it as well.
Well, I'll just say to everyone watching, get involved, get booking, get on the 8-week container and get involved with Conscious Connections.
Yeah, thank you. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
drag your male friends.
Drag your male friends. That's the bonus part of this call.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know that the women There's a waiting list also for Wicklow now already, you know, for women. But the men, there is men in, you know, already, and they'll come. They always do. Yeah. So celebrating those people, men and women, who, you know, have the courage to try something new and just turn up, you know, because you're turning up for yourself, basically, in the end. Yeah.
And you want to say to all the people watching now before we sign off and shut down?
Yeah, well, it's that, you know, and just, I think, be real, you know, that's like, if I was going to say one word, conscious relating, be real. Yeah, but, you know, be real, show up as yourself, know yourself, and just use dating as a practice, because that's what it is. Yeah.
That's some good, healthy advice.
Thanks.
No, Sinead, it was a pleasure seeing you and talking to you as per usual. I'm really looking forward to our events and continually weaving into the tapestry of intentional dating, conscious connections, and everything that it brings to the forefront for the people of Ireland. So, yeah,
Yeah,
grateful.
thank you so much for your time and the chat.
Good, much love. I'll talk to you soon,
I'll see you
Sinead.
on the 27th. So.
Slán.